Hey guys, Bill Siemantel here from theBBZtv. Summertime fishing, frog fishing, top water. If you guys have heard anything, Spro, Bronzeye frogs, Dean Rojas, the guy did a phenomenal job on putting the frog together a few years ago. He's got a lot of them out there. I'm starting to really like one of them in particular, the popper frog. I could fish a good walk the dog pattern in open water. But when I get in the junk, the front bill on this thing really pushes some water to open up spots and pads and just create a lot of commotion. So we're going to tie it on real quick. One thing on the frogs, a lot of them you can just pull right out of the box and use them, which is just why they work so really cool. But look at proportions on them. The way they built these, they put a little bit longer tail on them. If you want to better walk the dog retrieve, when you take these tails, bring them up to the front of the bait, and proportionally you want the tails about the same length of the body. That way it looks right. It's not like a big tall person with short legs. You know, the same thing with animals. When you got a frog, you want the body to be about the same length of the tails. The tails are a little bit longer. What I like to do is you turn this frog upside down, and you see how you have a little bit extra distance with these tails? Take one of the tails, come to the front of the head, take a pair of scissors, and you want to cut about 1/2 inch off. I want to put this down in this box right here so it doesn't get all over the place. I'm going to cut 1/2 inch off of that tail. And what that's going to do, it's going to create a little bit more drag in the water with this longer tail. You really don't see a difference, you know, in the bait, but proportionally that little longer tail right here, what happens is going to catch the water. So when you walk the dog, when you pop it and give it slack, the long side of the tail is going to drag further and it's going to kick that bait over better for you. Really cool little bait. I'm using a Lamiglas XFT 764. It's got a little bit lighter tip. That way you can pitch it and flip it underneath the cover and structure. An old cast stake Shimano reel paired up with 65-pound braid. Simple bait, great bait. We're up here at Cast Stake. We have high water and there's a lot of brush, trees, and grass coming up. So that's kind of stuff you're looking for when you want to throw a frog. The biggest thing on throwing a frog you want to look for is when you guys see a lot of grass on the surface. That's fine and dandy, but what you really want to do is pay attention to what's under the grass or beside it. When you're fishing grass mats, if it's a big expansive area, you're going to find out where you're going to catch some of your biggest fish. If there's a rock pile, brush, creek channel, or depression underneath the grass, that's where the bigger fish are going to be. So that's the time to remember where all those key spots are during the winter time, early spring, and when the mats grow, just go right back to the same areas you're going to catch them. We're going to target 2 things today. We're going to hit open water, work it just like a spook. Then we're going to go and we're going to throw it around buckbrush, trees, some grass. And the closer I can get to multiple structure and cover elements, if I have a grass mat with some brush on it around a flat or a break line, that's where this thing's going to really excel. And remember, the hotter it is, the better it is. You want the high suns, you want these fish to position into the cover and structure areas, and when you do that, then this little puppy's going to shine. So, man, there's some great kudos going out to Dean and Spro for making just one unbelievable bait. Let's get out on the water and see how this does. Oh, there we go. A little bit open water, nice fish. As you can see, I was coming out here off this bank and there's a little line of grass right there. Nice little frog. Fish. You know, I always been asked, you know, throwing frogs, open water, bluff walls. You guys don't understand. I mean, there's some really good possibilities of a frog, a live frog, going down a bluff wall. And if you don't take those opportunities, at least try it. You might miss out on something. Right here, I'm just going to take, and I'm going to go down this bank right here, and I'm going to fish this bluff wall as close as I can with a frog. And it would be no different than me throwing a swim bait, a spook, buzz bait. So, you know, you got to keep an open mind and just see what the fish want. So let's go down this bank right here and see what happens. Right there, just like I was talking about. Look at that one. Look at that one. Look at that one right there. I'm talking about somebody saying that you can't throw a frog on bluff walls. There's your proof in the pudding right there. Look at that. Look at that. Oh.